Right. Good evening to all. A new batch, a fresh day, 2028 students. Welcome to advanced level stream. And I guess this is your first class. Um, so, finishing one of your most important, a journey, which is O levels, and you have been here for the advanced levels. Uh, there are some similarities between O levels and A levels, but most of the time this will be a unique journey, right? Okay. Now, before we go on to the lesson, uh, yeah, wait a minute. Right. Before going on to the lesson, let's I'll give a small introduction on how this lesson goes on, right? How the syllabus goes on, right? Now, in our syllabus, there are 10 units, right? Wait, documents. Right. Now, if you see, right now, advanced level, advanced level biology, right? Now, this single subject, right? Now, here biology mainly has 10 units, right? So it has 10 units. Unit 1, which is introduction to biology, which will be starting today. Introduction to biology. Hopefully we can complete this within today, trust me. So now let's discuss about unit 1 today. Now, apart from unit 1, unit 2 is mainly based on certain molecules, practicals, molecules in the sense you might have studied in your levels carbohydrate, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. Those will be discussed. Cell division will be discussed. Metabolism will be discussed. Photosynthesis, cellular respiration, all those will be discussed. Cell biology, all this will be discussed, right? So, this is somewhat a big lesson, right? Now, if you see unit 3, it is mainly related to classification, phylums, domains, and each of them will be giving specific information will be given. Now, if you see domains, domain eukarya, bacteria, archaea, these three they'll be giving a set of information about them. If you see kingdoms, if you see kingdom Animalia, Plantae, Fungi, Protista, they'll be giving a set of information. So each and every domains and phylums and kingdoms, they have set of information included, right? So we'll be learning clearly all of them under unit 3, right? Is it clear? Now, if you see unit 4 is the point where it is the point where biology students have a breakthrough, right? Now, if you see unit 4, it is completely based on plants, right? Unit 2 is based on uh, let's say there are multiple topics on unit 2, but it's a general, we can say it's general biology, right? This they haven't given syllabus as general biology, but this contains certain common topics, right? So let's assume this is as general biology, right? Unit 3 mainly has classifications, and it contains, yeah, mainly classification and evolution, how the earth evolved, how animals evolved, how organisms evolved, all these will be discussed, right? Right. And if you see unit 5, unit 5 is about human body. Unit 5 is about human body. right? Now the actual actual feeling of students, as students, we feel the real worth of studying biology is when we study about human body, right? So we aim to be a doctor, studying biology or choosing the stream of bio just to become a doctor, or some might have some other dreams going on medical fields, but mainly most of the students have a aim of becoming doctor, right? So this is one of the lessons which we expect, right? And unit 6 comes on. Now before going on to the lesson unit 1 directly, I'm giving a rough idea on how our syllabus goes, because without any idea we can't just start today's topic and go on, right? I'll give a just a rough idea, and then you will have a clear picture how our syllabus would go, right? Right, then unit 6 is genetics. I guess you might heard Gregor Mendel in your O levels. I guess in grade 10 syllabus they had a lesson which is inheritance. So this is some sort of information, but in deep, right? Not like O levels. Here they have given it in deep. Now, after unit 7 comes on. Unit 7 mainly molecular biology. Molecular biology means simply related to DNA. Yeah, simply it is about DNA. Okay, okay. And then comes Unit 8. Unit 8 is environmental biology. Now, this environment biology is some sort of, it is somewhat related to geography. I guess you might have, you might have learned geography even once in your lifetime, right? So that geography, what we learn, not those country wise. I'm saying in geography, those environment wise, annual rainfall, the altitudes, the heights of mountains, and what those ecosystems have. So those kind of informations will be included in environment biology, right? Now this is some sort of memory lesson, right? We have to memorize some sort of information, but trust me, it is not hard. These each and every lesson has some sort of taste in them, right? Some sort of uniqueness in them, right? unit 9 Unit 9 is microbiology, right? And last but not least, unit 10, which is applied. Right, this is how our syllabus goes on. So unit 1, introduction to biology, then comes the general biology, which is chemical basis of cellular life, which is mainly be focusing on carbohydrate, proteins, lipids, nucleic acids, cell division, photosynthesis, cellular respiration, metabolism, and multiple topics are present, right? And unit 3 is classification and evolution. Mainly it is focusing on how phylums, domains, kingdoms are classified, and it focuses how the life on earth originated, right? And unit 4 is plants. As I said, this unit, up to unit 1 to unit 3, students normally, A level students, they have that momentum, how they have the momentum of scoring well in the exams, and they start preparing, and they uh, revise, and they follow their daily routine as an advanced level student. They do papers, they do questions, homeworks, and they do everything. But after this unit 3, there is a lesson which is unit 4. Here this has some sort of content. Compared to these three, this fourth unit is a bit large unit, right? After passing unit 4 and coming to unit 5, students face difficulties in managing the lessons, because almost they have covered 4 units, and unit 5 is a huge part, huge theory lesson, right? It contains all the systems in human body, from digestive system, respiratory system, reproductive system, immunity, excretory system, nervous system, skeletal system, every system are present, right? So students face difficulties in managing these lessons, right? So when so trust me, what happens actually is, now as a student, I was a student, so I have some sort of experience how students feel. Now in your first year, when from unit 1 to 3, your mentality will be, I can secure A in my levels for bio, right? This is how your mentality is. You will be working in that mentality. No matter what happens, you are in that mentality. But when you come across units like unit 4 and 5, you have a fluctuating mindset. You say, right, I'm trying for an A, but even if a B comes, I'm satisfied, because taking a B in biology, it's some sort of a gut. It's some sort of a satisfaction, right? And when you come across units like 6, 7, yeah, 6, 7, and 8, you feel I can secure B. Yeah, I can secure B, not A, but yeah, B is manageable, right? And when you come across units like unit 9 and 10, you feel, will I be able to get a C? If I get a C, I guess, yeah, I can get into a university. So this is how your mentality drops, right? So, my dear students, on the first day itself, I'm saying, don't lose that momentum, right? Now, as fresh students, you are entering into a new journey, which is advanced level. There are numerous obstacles to come in your journey, so don't lose that momentum. In every situation, it is your parents who stand with you. Don't, you know lose that momentum and make them feel sad, right? So you have managed 9 subjects, right, successfully, and you are here in A levels. And in A levels, you might feel, yeah, I have managed 9 subjects in my O level. Some compare 9 subjects with 3 subjects. In my words, these three has a huge content compared to that 9, right? So don't compare O level and A level. Or A level is a separate journey. And here, what matters is that gut. As a student, you should have that self discipline, that self motivation. No one here is to motivate you, right? Even some sirs would motivate, but the best motivator for a student is himself. You should motivate yourself, right? So this is how it goes, right? Okay. I'm not trying to, get bit frighten you or something. I'm saying the truth. This is how the journey goes on. So from the day one, before starting into the lesson, I'm saying, from the day one, don't waste your time, right? You don't waste your time just becoming. Don't neglect some time. Don't think that I have 2 years, 2.5 years of time, and I can use those at the latter part of the time. So some, what they do is, they'll be wasting the first part of first year and they start studying second year. Don't do those foolish decisions. What you do is, you do all the works at a time. You manage all 3 subjects per week and do practice questions, and keep that flow of momentum from the start of day one, from today until your exam date. Keep that momentum, right? Don't let that momentum decrease, right? Okay, then let's get into the lesson, right? Okay, right. Can you see the tute here? Please drop a message if you can see the tute. Can you see the tute in the screen? Right. Thank you. Okay. Now, as the name itself says, this is introduction to biology. They're introducing the new students, which means you all, to biology with the first unit, which is introduction to biology. Okay. Now here we'll be studying what is biology, what are the branches of biology, and what are the factors that help us to study biology. Right. This is what we'll be learning. Right. A small part we can complete this within today. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's start now. Okay. Nature, scope, and importance of biology with reference to challenges faced by the mankind. Biology is a science which is focused on studying of living organisms, right? Biology means it is the study of living organisms, right? This biology, the word biology, has been derived by two main words, which is bios and logos. Bios means life, right? Bios means life. Logos means study of, which means eventually it becomes the study of life, right? Okay. The concept of life is not easy to define. Still, scientists are unable to provide an acceptable definition for life. Life is something special and unique which cannot be explained using laws of chemistry and physics. Biology is a subject which is very complex and vast. Hence, for the convenience of studying, it has been divided into three primary branches. Right? So here, biology has been separated or classified into three main branches, which are zoology, botany, and microbiology. So zoology means the study of animals. Botany means the study of plants. Microbiology means study of microorganisms. Right? Clear up to that part? Simple, right? Just a small brief introduction. Right? Okay. Then comes the next part of the lesson. Some areas of some areas of study in these branches are. Now, what happens is biology is being classified into three main branches. What are they? Zoology, botany, and microbiology. These three main branches are further classified into remaining branches. What are they? Cell biology, histology, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, genetics, and ecology. Right? So, those three have been classified into these seven. Right? Okay. Cell biology means the study of cells, right? Histology means the study of tissues. Anatomy means studying about gross structure of the human body, the structure of human body. Physiology means the studying of functions of human body, the organs function, those functions, the study of functions means physiology. Biochemistry means studying biological molecules, right? Genetics means studying inheritance. Inheritance means mainly Gregor Mendel's those experiments conducted, and mainly it starts from Gregor Mendel's experiment. So all sort of information about that will be discussed under genetics. Ecology means studying the environment, right? Okay, is that clear up to that point? This is the rough or brief idea about the unit number one, right? Where they introduce us by what is biology, right? Is that clear? Any doubts? Any doubts? No, right? Clear. Shall we move on? Right. Okay. Now, right. Given below are some issues pertaining. Right. Given below are given below are some issues pertaining to biology. Now, pertaining means it has a similar meaning like concern. Simply, what they are trying to convey is they are saying there are certain factors which helps us to study biology, right? There are certain factors or features by concerning them we can study biology. That is what they try to convey, right? So what are those they have given here? First one, understanding the biological diversity. Second one, understanding the human body and its functions. Third one, sustainable use and management of natural resources and environment. Fourth one, sustainable food production. Fifth one, understanding plant life. Sixth one, understanding diseases and causes. Seventh one, solving some legal and ethical issues. Right now, each one of them will be discussed briefly, and what we'll be learning how it contributes in studying biology. Right? Okay, let's move on. Right, here comes the first part, understanding biological diversity. Right. Now, I guess you might have learned under your O levels, in your O levels, how Earth evolved, right? They gave a small idea, but here under Unit 3, as I said, we'll be learning how actually Earth originated and the life on Earth originated, right? Now here they have given a rough idea. They have said at present our planet Earth is rich in diversity, right? Life on Earth formed around 3.8 billion. Underline this number, 3.8 billion years ago. Life on Earth was formed how many years ago? 3.8 billion years ago. Not Earth was formed, Earth formed before that, right? Life on Earth, which means organisms were formed 3.8 billion years ago, right? Okay. Further, they have continued as the first formed organisms are believed to be heterotrophic, anaerobic, and prokaryotic. Heterotrophic. Are you new to this word? Heterotrophic? Heterotrophic means simply depends. Heterotrophic means depends on other organisms. Other organisms, other organisms for food. It can't produce its own food. Right? Okay. Anaerobic. Aerobic means presence of oxygen. Aerobic. Anaerobic means they survive in the absence of oxygen, which means if there is oxygen, they can't survive. Now we are aerobic, right? These first formed organisms were anaerobic. They can't survive in the presence of oxygen. In the absence of oxygen, they can survive. So anaerobic means absence of oxygen, right? Prokaryotic. Prokaryotic, is this word new to you all? No, right? Prokaryotic, you learned it in your O levels, right? Prokaryotic means organisms which does not have a proper nucleus organization, right? Right. Now, let's go to the next point. Is it clear? Clear, right? Nothing much difficult here. So let's continue. Since then, the evolutionary process resulted in extensive biodiversity which exists in the biosphere now. Scientists assume, based on their studies, that there are about how many? There are about 10 to over 100 million species. There are almost 10 to over more than 100. 10 to more over 100 million species are surviving on Earth. They have just assumed, right? Right. Next point. There is a dynamic relationship between living world and inanimate world, and each and every organism has a specific role in the environment for existence. Right. What is this living world and what is this inanimate world? What is this dynamic relationship? I'll explain. Now, what they are trying to convey is some sort of relationship like this living world has a dynamic relationship between inanimate world. Right. Now, living world includes animals, plants, microorganisms, humans, all are included in living world, right? Inanimate world means non-living, right? They are saying living world has a mutual relationship, mutual, both are benefited, mutual relationship with the non-living world. Living world has a mutual relationship with the non-living world. Now you might ask how, sir? Now you say living organisms have a mutual relationship only. Okay. Now, how? So I'm not getting it. How? You might feel that question, right? So how? Now we can't just memorize for the sake, right? They have given a statement. We can't just memorize. We have to understand it. Now, what they are trying to convey here is they are saying. Now, for example, I'll mention it here. Yeah, I'll mention it here. Now, if you see, just take plant, right? Right. Okay. Now, if you see, take some plants. Now, if you see the cactus plant, right? Can cactus plants survive in our normal environments? Normally, cactus are heat tolerant, right? They can store water and they're mostly present in deserts. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? No, it's the first class, so all of you should be bit motivated and should be uh quick responding, yeah. So I can make it more interesting, right? Am I right? Do you agree that uh, cactus are plants that are suitable for a desert environment, right? Do you agree? Do you agree? Please respond so that I can clarify that you are a bit attentive. Students, right? Okay. Now, as I said, now if you see the cactus plant, I'll take that cactus plant. The cactus plant has a mutual relationship with deserts, right? Now you might feel okay, sir. Cactus has a relationship with desert because that heat environment supports that cactus. Okay, I agree. But you might feel, so then how does inanimate world or the non-living world gets benefited from the living world? So you might have that question, right? Now, living world, we are present in environment. Now we are not extremely living conditions organisms, right? Now we are living in normal conditions. So the normal conditions, non-living world means these environments, seas and those stuff. So this environment helps our survival, right? Okay. Now you might ask how our presence helps them, helps the non-living world. Now, have you heard something like this? They have, I guess they used to say this in your smaller grades. They say that earthworms are friends of farmers, right? Why does they say like that? Earthworms are friends of farmers because earthworms have a ability of softening the soil, right? So that helps in paddy cultivation. So presence of that earthworm helps the non-living world. Non-living world means the soil, right? This is how there is a dynamic relationship. Dynamic in the sense a mutual relationship, right? Is it clear? Is it clear, students? Is it clear? Is that clear? Right, perfect. Thank you for responding. Okay. Now, last statement of that. The variety of life on Earth, the number of species of plants, animals, and microorganisms, the diversity of genes in the species, and the different ecosystems on the such deserts and rainforests and coral reefs are all part of biological diverse Earth. Now, what they try to convey here is this is what they say. They are saying now, if you see variety of life or diversity in Earth is present mainly due to three main features, it seems. I'll mention it here. They're saying Earth is diverse, which means they have varieties. Diverse. They say they have due to three main features. What are they? Species diversity. Second one, ecosystem diversity. And then comes genetic diversity. As there are unique species, the diversity of Earth increases. As there are unique ecosystems, the diversity of Earth increases. As there are unique genetic species, the Earth's diversity increases. Is that clear? Please go through this first part, understanding biology diversity, and let me know if there are any doubts. If there are no any doubts, then drop a message, sir, clear. Then I'll continue. Is that clear? Please drop a message. If it is clear, I can continue. Right. Thank you. Okay. Now let's go to the second part, which is understanding the human body and its function. Right. How understanding or learning human body and function helps in studying biology. That's what we try to clarify. Right. Okay. Let's go into the note. When studying biology, especially by studying what are the two, histology and anatomy. Histology means the study of tissues. Anatomy means the study of gross structure of human body. By studying those two, we can, what they say, when studying biology, especially by studying histology and anatomy of the human body, one can gain the knowledge about the structure of organs. So by studying these two, one can gain a knowledge about the structure of organs, right? This results in understanding and appreciation of organization of human body and understanding the function of different organ systems and the relation between structure and function. Simply, the second point has three main subpoints, right? Understanding the and appreciation of organization of human body, understanding the functions of different organs and systems, and relation between structure and function. They say by studying the human body and its function, these are the three benefits we get, right? These are three benefits. What are the benefits? First one, it helps in identifying the organization of the human body, helps in identifying the function of human body and the structure of human body. These are the three, right? A simple part, right? Now then let's go to the third part. Third point is sustainable use and management of natural resources and environment. Okay, let's see. Natural resources are sources of materials and energy found naturally which are used in everyday life for economical development. Okay, now I have mentioned within the brackets as def, which means it is a definition. Now, as biology students, I should mention this. Keep a separate book, right? Keep a separate small book and start collecting your definitions. When it is so close to exams, this is so useful because we can't keep spending time rolling pages and checking each definitions. So keep them as a separate book, collect them, and it should be maintained, right? So unit wise, separate it and collect them. Okay, right. So this is the first definition for you, right? So what they say, natural resources are sources of materials and energy found naturally, which are used in everyday life for economic development. Okay, these natural resources are limited on Earth system. Why have they been limited? They have given the reason: due to the increase in the growth rate of human population and overuse of natural resources. Now, in your grade 11 last lesson, I guess, if I'm not wrong, it was biosphere something. uh, can you remember something you learned like this? Something like a J-shaped curve. Can you remember this? Can you remember? All students just now coming from the oil field, right? So you might be thorough in this. Can you remember this? Something like this curves? Yes. Okay. Now, what did they convey from this? This is the increase in the human population. How a drastic change or drastic increase takes place, right? So here what we will be discussing is, here we won't be discussing about the J-shaped curve. Here they have said that the resources, natural resources, are limited just because the increase in the human population. When the population increases, the overuse of natural resources also increases, right? So those two are interconnected, right? Okay. It causes a threat to depletion of natural resources. Depletion means decrease. It causes a decrease in natural resources. Okay. Due to overexploitation means overuse of natural resources, various environmental problems arises. Environmental problems. What are they? Environmental pollution, loss of biodiversity, and desertification. So, due to the overuse of natural resources, environment gets affected by three main methods: by environmental pollution, loss of biodiversity, and desertification. Now, desertification means cutting down the trees and converting a nice enriched field, let's use the word field, into a desert, right? Cutting down trees and converting a nice field into a desert. This is the process called desertification. Okay. Okay. Hence, to overcome the above problems, management of natural resources and environment should be practiced. Knowledge of biology is useful to bring about remedies for the above problem, right? Is that clear? This part, the third part, sustainable use and management of natural resources. Just go through it and let me know if there are any doubts. Is that clear? Right? Is that clear? Please respond so that I can confirm that you're attentive. Right? If there are any doubts, just continuing the lesson is not efficient, right? So if there are any doubts, no issue, just point it out. I'll explain it again. Even if it is just a single word, I'll explain it again. Is that clear? I have shared the PDF of the Unit 1 tute in the group. And if you don't have it, no issue, just let me know. I'll share it in the Zoom chat too. Is it clear for everyone? Right. Then shall we continue? Shall we continue? Okay. Then comes to the fourth topic, which is sustainable food production. Sustainable food production is the production of sufficient amount of food for the human population using environmentally safe method. These are the keywords of a definition, right? So what is sustainable food production? Sustainable food production is the production of sufficient amount of food for the human population using environmentally safe method, right? Okay, collect this to your definition book too, because it is also a definition. The current human population is about 7 billion, and it can be doubled in less than 40 years. That is what they assume, right? Therefore, for the survival of human beings, sustainable food production is necessary. To maintain sustainable food production, following methods can be applied, which are based on the knowledge and biology. So they are saying by following these, we can produce sustainable food production. What are they? Production of high yielding varieties of plants and animals, production of disease resistant plants and animal varieties, improving post harvest technological methods. Post harvest technological method means after harvest, the technology used, the technology followed, right? Okay, is that clear? Sustainable food production. Small parts, right? Not much detailed ones, short and simple. Is that clear? Is it clear, students? Please do respond. Right, okay. Then let's go to the fifth topic, which is understanding plant life. Right, okay. Now, what have they included here? Plants are the primary producers. Primary producers, that means they are the ones who produce. They are the ones, simply what they try to convey is they are the ones which are being mainly dependent by organisms. Now if you see herbivores, they are directly dependent on plants. But if you see us, who are humans and animals, they are not directly dependent. But for all of us, plants are the primary requirement, primary producer. They are the ones who are producing the primary nutrition, right? Right. Second statement. All animals depend directly or indirectly on plants. So directly depending means plants. Indirectly depending means humans, animals, fungi, all of them. Right. Therefore, understanding plant life is important. As the time for human population is increasing, we need to increase the productivity. Therefore, understanding plant function and biology is important to produce high yielding plants and disease resistant plants. So by studying and plant life, we can come to a decision or come to a method to produce high yielding plants and disease resistant plants. Right? Then let's move on to the seventh topic: understanding diseases and causes. To maintain a healthy human body, one should have the knowledge of causes of diseases. So, if a person should, if a person wants to be healthy, he should know how a disease caused, how a disease can be caused, and how to protect or prevent from that disease. Right. So that is what they try to convey from this first point. Some dangerous diseases which exist in the current world are non-communicable, and such example cancers, heart disease, diabetes, chronic renal disease, and others are communicable. Example: AIDS, dengue. So they say diseases are classified into two: communicable and non-communicable. So communicable means it can spread. Non-communicable means it can't spread. Right? Okay. Cancers are one of the leading causes of death. AIDS is a viral disease which is serious and growing health problem worldwide. Heart disease. This is also a serious and growing health problem worldwide. Causes are not fully understood. Right? Just they have given small information about each disease. Chronic renal disease. Right? Chronic means this disease is related to our kidney. Right? Chronic renal disease. In Sri Lanka, recently CKDU means chronic kidney disease unknown. This unknown suggests that there are factors, the factors that cause to this disease, the factors that lead to this disease are not known. They are unknown. As their causes are unknown, this disease has a name which is chronic kidney disease unknown. Right? This is a problem which is more common in Sri Lanka. Right? Okay. Currently, scientists are working on prevention, remedial measures, and cures for diseases. Right. So, what we learned here: diseases are two types, communicable and uncommunicable, and they gave some examples, and they gave some sort of information about cancers, AIDS, uh, yeah, cancers and AIDS, and they introduced us to chronic kidney disease unknown and how they carry out various measures to control this disease. Right. Okay. Then let's come to the last point under issues pertaining for biology. Solving some legal and ethical issues. Solving some legal and ethical issues. Okay. Knowledge and application of biological concepts is important in solving some legal issues such as parentage testing, criminal investigation, solving immigration problem. Parentage testing means detecting who are the parents, right? That can be done using the knowledge on biology. If we have the knowledge on biology, we can detect who is a parent, right? Who is the actual parent. Criminal investigation. If you see normal crime thriller movies, they use this fingerprint technique to detect who is the crime scene, who is the victim, right? They differentiate who is the victim and who is the uh, one who committed the crime, right? So that is one application. And last application is solving immigration disputes. Immigration means who are related in illegal immigration to various countries. So there are three main application. We can use the knowledge on biology in solving legal and ethical issues. What are they? We can be using it to solve parentage testing, solving immigration disputes, and for criminal investigations. For all three of this, we use the technology which is DNA fingerprinting, right? We use DNA fingerprinting to the parentage testing, and we also use it for criminal investigation and solving immigration disputes. Right? Is that clear? Now we have completed all issues that contribute or help us to study biology. Right? Issues pertaining for biology. Is it clear? Is that clear? If it's clear, let's continue to the next part. Is it clear? Or do you have any doubts? Clear? And unless you mention is whether it's clear or not, I can't continue the lesson, right? So just mention if it is clear, mention it as clear. If it is not, just mention it. So I didn't get it. Please explain it. I'll explain it. Is it clear or not? Is it clear? Clear, right? Okay. So then we are moving on to the next main topic. Now, up to now, what we learned how what is biology. Biology is the study of living organisms. Okay, biology was derived from two words, bios and logos. Bios means life, logos means the study of. Biology is mainly divided into three main branches. What are they? Zoology, botany, microbiology. Zoology means the study of animals. Microbiology means the study of microorganisms. Botany means study of plants. And they were further divided into seven branches: cell biology, histology, anatomy, physiology, genetics, ecology, biochemistry. Right? And then we moved on to the issues pertaining to biology. Simply, what they mean by issues pertaining to biology is factors that contribute or help in studying biology, right? First one they said was understanding the biological diversity. Under that we learned. Now when I'm saying it, what we learned now, try to recall it, right? I'm not expecting you to tell in my flow, right? Now as you are new to this unit, I'll say it from my memory. You just try to recall it, right? Just think, right? Do I remember this? Right. So that clarification should be present, right? Now I'll just say it what we learned until now. You try to recall it, right? Okay. Under understanding biological diversity, what we learned, we said that Earth, the life on Earth was originated how many years ago? 3.8 billion years ago. Okay. Then what were the organisms formed? Now, initially formed organisms had three main characteristic features. What were they? They were heterotrophic, which means they depend on other organisms. They were prokaryotic, which means they do not have a proper nuclear organization. And they were anaerobic. They survived in oxygen absent areas, oxygen free environments. And they said that there is a dynamic relationship with the living world and inanimate world. Simply what they try to convey, they say that living world contains animals, plants, fungi, and all living organisms. Inanimate world means non-living world, the environment we live in. So they are saying the living organisms have a mutual relationship with non-living organisms. How can we clarify it? Now if you see the humans we live here, we live in this normal environment, and due to this normal environment we can survive. So the environment or the non-living component helps us for the survival. Now you might ask, sir, then how our contribution to their survival? Now if you see, earthworms, I said as an example, earthworms are considered to be the friends of farmers. Why? They loosen the soil. By loosening the soil, farmers are benefited because loosening the soil helps in cultivation. So this these earthworms helps in cultivation and helps in survival of that land or uh, non-living inanimate world, right? Okay, then we learned that there are almost 10 to over 100 million species, right? Okay, then we went to other features. Went to the second one, which said that understanding human body and function. Understanding human body and function. How? Uh, by studying histology and anatomy, right? And then we went on to the understanding human plant life, and we went on until solving legal and ethical issues. Right now, let's move on to the new topic. Here, what is the topic? Nature and organizational patterns. Nature and organizational patterns of living world. In accordance with the different criteria, we can see a diversity among living organisms. Organisms are diverse based on how many features? Based on four main features. What are they? Size, shape, form, habitats. Based on these factors, organisms are diverse. Living organisms show a wide range of variation in size, shape, form, and habitat. Size, they have given example. Bacteria size varies from 0.25 micrometer to 2 micrometer. Right? This is the smallest. Right? Giant sequoia or giant redwood has a height of 100 meter, which is the largest organism. Right? Okay. Shape, they are saying there are diverse shape. For example, they are saying cylindrical. Cylindrical means earthworms are cylindrical. Streamline. Streamline means a body like this, right? A body like this. Now fishes have some sort of body like this, right? So it also has the same body. Birds, if you see birds in this aspect, they have a streamlined body. So now this is a streamlined, right? Okay, right. Okay. Then comes the third factor, which is form. Unicellular, multicellular. Unicellular, example amoeba. Multicellular, any plant or animal. Unicellular means made up of one type of cells, right? Habitat. Habitat means where they are actually located. So they have given four types of habitat. First one, terrestrial, example rats. Terrestrial can include even animals like lion, tiger, zebra, those stuff also. Aquatic, fishes. Arboreal. Arboreal means on trees. Loris and aerial, example birds. Right? That is the end of how organisms are diverse with respect to four main factors. Right? Okay. Let's move to the next part. Now, this is the final part of your lesson. If you complete this, the lesson is done. Right? Trust me, we are going to finish the unit 1 of biology with it today. Right? And we'll be discussing paper questions too. They have questioned this unit in the past papers too. Right? So, we'll complete it and we'll discuss the questions related to them. Okay? Okay. Right. Characteristic of organism. Now, what they try to convey here is these features, characteristic of features are given here. One, two, three, four, and they are given continuously. Presence of these confirms that the organism is a living organism, right? So, first one is order and organization. Order and organization. Order and organization. From molecular level to biosphere, there is an order and organization in organisms to perform their biological activities efficiently. Lower level components are organized in a methodical pattern in upper level to make it most efficient. Now they are mentioning it as order and organization. Okay. So then what is the order? Have they given any order? They have given it an order. I'll mention it here. Right? This is the order. Initially molecule. Molecules combine to form organelles. Organelles combine to form cells. Cells combine to form tissues. Tissues combine to form organs. Organ combines to form systems. Systems combine to form organism. Organism combines to form population. Population combine to form community. Community combines to form ecosystem. And finally, ecosystem combines to form biosphere. This is the hierarchical sequence or the order and organization, right? Sorry, right. That is the explanation for the first point or the first characteristic feature. Second one is metabolism. Metabolism means the sum of all chemical activities taking place in an organism is called metabolism. Catabolic reactions and anabolic reactions are included here, which means metabolism are chemical reactions. They have two type of reactions called catabolism, catabolic reaction, and anabolic. Now, if you ask me, so what is this catabolic? Anabolic? Catabolic means breaking complex molecules to simple molecules, right? Anabolic means making making using simple molecules, making complex molecules, right? That is what they are meant, right? Okay, is that clear? Right? Is that clear? Right? Okay. Then let's go to the third point, which is growth and development. Growth and development. All organisms begin their life as a single cell. During growth, an irreversible increase in dry mass occurs, which is characterized only by living. This is a definition, right? Growth means irreversible increase in dry mass occurs, which is characterized by living, only living, right? Which means now if you see this cell, now it grows into a this type shell. Will it go back to this shape, small shape? No. So that means it is not reversible. It is irreversible, right? Right. Right. That is the definition for growth. What is development? Irreversible changes that occur in lifespan of an organism are called development, right? Okay, growth and development are two consecutive processes that happen in life. Consecutive means simultaneous process or parallel processes, right? Back to back process, right? That is what they have included in the growth and development, right? Next characteristic feature is irritability and coordination. Irritability is the ability to respond to a stimuli from both, not only from one, both internal and external environment. It is the ability to respond to the stimulus. Stimulus means signals that arise from both internal and external environments, right? Movement of organisms occur as a result of irritability and coordination. We move just because of these two, irritability and coordination. Only because of these two, we are able to move. In animals, this happens as a result of coordinated efforts, nervous, hormonal, muscular, skeletal system. Now, these four are systems. All these four systems contributes in the human body movement, right? How? Now, if you might feel how, sir? How means now if you see nervous system, it is involving in sending the impulses from our brain, right, through the nerves. Hormonal, there are certain hormones that helps, right? Muscular helps in muscular activities. Skeletal system helps in body movements. Now all coordinates just to help us move, right? Okay, then let's move on to the fifth characteristic feature, which is adaptation, right? Adaptation is peculiarity. What is this peculiarity? Peculiarity means simply feature. Adaptation is a peculiarity of feature of structure physiology, behavior that promotes the likelihood of an organism's survival and reproduction in a particular environment. Simply, to understand this, think about something like this. Adaptation is a change in the form, structure, physiology. Physiology means the function wise. Structure, function wise, or behavior wise, the change in the organism which helps it to survive or reproduce in a particular environment. Again, what is meant by adaptation? Adaptation means change in the structure, behavior, function of an organism which helps it to survive or reproduce in a particular environment. That is what is meant by adaptation. Right? They have given three main examples too. What are they? Sunken stomatas in xerophytes, viviparity in mangroves, splayed out foot in camels. Now, if you see xerophytes, xerophytes are the plants which helps in storing water. Xerophytes are plants which store large amount of water. Right? Example, aloe vera. Example, aloe vera. Right? Just because of sunken stomata, what happens is sunken stomata reduces the rate of loss of water. As aloe vera have large amount of water, sunken stomata helps to preserve that water. If the stomata is normally present in the surface of the leaf, this has a high rate of water loss, right? As it is sunken, the loss of water is comparatively lower than normal plants, right? Is it clear? I'm explaining now. In your syllabus they haven't given that explanations. I'm explaining each and every point just to make you clear, right? You should not just memorize every point. I want you to understand each and every point with the explanation. Now again, if you read the statement, you should remember what I taught, right? Okay. Viviparity in mangrove. Viviparity. What is meant by viviparity? Now, if you see mangroves, mangroves are present in coastal areas, right? They can be seen in coastal areas like Trincomalee, Gaul. So they are present in mainly water, large amount waters. They are present in waters which contain large amount of salinity, salt. Now, if you see, this is a normal tree, right? This normal tree, what it does is, now this is the root and this is the roots. This is the roots, this is oil. Now normally what this root does is it helps in absorption of water and minerals through the roots into the plant, right? This is normal. Now in mangroves what happens is, if you see, mangroves are plants which survive in high amount of salinity, which means large amount of salt is present in that water. Now this is the root, this is the water, right? Now if water comes, tell me whether only water will be entering through this. Now here only water nutrition. Here what it enters here is water plus salt. This high salinity, high salt which enters into the plant is toxic to the plant. So what they do is they have something called viviparity. Simply just remember, it is something like a border sequence which prevents the entry of salt and reduces the saltiness. So this helps the plant to survive, right? To it prevents the plant from getting toxic. No, it is helping the plant being protected from the effect that is caused due to high salinity. That is how viviparity is contributed, right? Okay. Now other one is splayed out foot in camel. Now normally camels have some sort of shoe like this, right? It has a walnut shape like splayed out foot, right? What is the reason? Now, can you remember from your O levels this equation? F equals ma. Sorry, not F equals ma. Sorry, this equation. Pressure equals force of area. So larger the force, lower the pressure. Now here the splayed out foot has a larger area, so the pressure is decreased. When the pressure decreases, the force exerted also decreases. Right? Now normally these camels survive in an environment which has a desert soil. So the desert soil is some sort like powder-like structure. Right? So whenever they stand like this, the soil gets completely merged. So the legs of the camels get completely sunken, right? So every time they walk, they should get back this leg again, back and again, they'll be getting into it. So having a splayed out foot reduces the pressure created, so it will be on the surface of the soil and reduces the uh, strain they have created, right? That is what they actually mean. So can you get what I'm trying to convey, right? So sunken stomata reduces the rate of water loss. Viviparity reduces or protects the plant from high salinity. Sprayed out food helps the camel to survive in the desert environment, right? Okay, perfect. Right. Then we'll come to the seventh point. Seventh characteristic feature. What is it? It is reproduction. Right. Okay. Reproduction means ability to produce offspring for the continuous existence of species. Right. Okay. Then let's move to the seventh point. Seventh characteristic feature, which is heredity and evolution. Organisms organisms have genes that pass from one generation to next generation that controls physiological morphological behavior. Physiological means functional, morphological means appearance wise, behavior characteristics you can understand, right? So this is the definition for heredity. They haven't directly given. So if they ask what is heredity, heredity is the passage of genes from generation to generation that control specific physiological, morphological and behavioral characters of an organism. That is what you should read. Right, that is the definition. Right. Then comes the next point: ability of organisms to change over change over with time as a result of genetic modification is called evolution, right? Many non-living entities may have one or more of these characteristics, but not all of them. Crystals grow, waves move, but only living organisms display all these characteristics simultaneously. By considering, it can be said that these are occurring in single-celled organisms, in high complex organisms such as humans and anthrophytes, right? Evolution means here the ability of organisms to change over with time. Evolution means alteration or change in the genetics of an organism, right? With the uh, time way, right? With time, the change in the genetic composition of an organism called evolution, right? Okay, to the last part of the lesson. If we complete this, then the lesson is done, right? Hierarchical levels of organization of living organisms. The cell is a basic structure function unit of life. Some organisms are unicellular while others are multicellular. Unicellular, multicellular. Can you remember a unicellular organism which we learned today? Amoeba, right? Multicellular means humans, animals, plants, all of them come. Right? Cell is composed of several organelles. Several organelles. Can you remember some organelles? Mitochondria, chloroplast, those which are formed by different organic molecules. Hierarchy levels of organization living things can be constructed by using relevant example at each level. Now the flowchart I gave Here they have given it in a sequence manner. Molecules will be combined to form organelles will be combined from cells will be combined from tissues, organ systems, organism, population, communities, ecosystems, and biosphere. Right? Is that clear? That is what we learned. Right? Right. So that's the end of unit one. Now we might feel a bit proud, right? On day one, I have completed one unit. So yeah, unit one is bit easy. So we completed within today. Now I'll give a small summary, right? I'll do a small summary because some of you might have faced some connection issues. You might have joined and left and joined and left. So just because of that, I'll do a small summary and I'll go into the questions, and then let's finish off the class, right? We'll do the summary, we'll do the questions, and then finish the class, right? Okay. Right. Okay. Now what we learned today? Now we learned about biology, right? What is the biology? Biology means the study of living organisms. Okay. Biology was derived from two main words. Biology was derived means biology means simply study of living organism. It is mainly derived by two words, bios, which is life, plus logos. Logos means study of, right? And simply biology was divided into three main topics: zoology, botany, microbiology, right? These three were further divided into genetics, histology, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, ecology, genetics, histology, anatomy, cell biology. Right. Okay. Then we came on to the issues pertaining to biology, which means the factors contribute or help to study biology. Right? What are they? Can you remember? First one was understanding, understanding the biological diversity. What we learned here. Now, under this point, we learned certain sets of information. I'll just give it in point form. First was origin of life on Earth. It took place 3.8 billion years ago. 3.8 billion years ago. Right? Then, second point is there are almost 10 to over 100 million species living on Earth. First organism, what are the features? First formed organism has three main features. Now, I am doing this summary session for the ones who missed it. Some parts, some might have missed it. So for that, so for the ones who were from the first start of the class, if you feel bit bored just again revising it, now try to recall. Right now, before I'm writing it in the screen, if you are able to just imagine or recall it, right, then you are up to the level. Right. Try to recall it. First organism had certain features. What are they? They were prokaryotic, they were heterotrophic, and anaerobic. Right? And last, living world had an inanimate, dynamic relationship with the inanimate world. Right? That is what we learned. So then we came on to the understanding the human body and the function. Right? Understanding human body and the function can be done in mainly two main ways. How? Understanding human body functions using two main features: histology and anatomy. Right? And that helps to study the structure of the organs, function of the organs, and the organization of the human body. Then we came on to the natural resources. What are natural resources? Natural resources are the sources of materials that are found, source of materials and energy that are found naturally, which are used in day-to-day life for economic development. So, what is the actual situation of the resources that are present now? Now, the natural resources are facing a threat. Why? Because of the increase in the human population. So, the overexploitation of natural resources have started. So, this leads to three main features. What are they? They lead to the loss of biodiversity. They lead to environmental pollution and desertification. And then we studied sustainable food production. Sustainable food production means the production of sufficient amount of food using environmentally safe methods for the human population. It can be done in three methods. First one, uh, producing high yielding plant animal varieties, producing disease resistant plant animal varieties, and improving the post harvest technology. And then we studied plant life, right? Understanding plant life. So what are plants? Plants are the primary producers of the earth. All organisms depend directly or indirectly on plants. By studying plant, we can understand how to produce high yielding disease resistant plant varieties, right? Better quality ones. And then we studied after plant the disease causing agents. Now, diseases and their causes. There are mainly two types of disease. What are they? Communicable disease, non-communicable disease. Communicable means spreading disease. Non-communicable means the disease that does not spread. Right? Okay. And then we studied some sort of diseases. We studied AIDS. AIDS means a viral disease. It does not have permanent cure. Cancer is a non-communicable disease, and it has also not a permanent cure. And we studied about chronic kidney disease unknown, which is a common disease that is present among Sri Lankans, right? And then we finally went to the solving legal and ethical issues. Normally, if we have the knowledge of biology, we can use to solve certain legal issues. What are they? First one, parentage testing. Second one, solving immigration disputes and criminal investigation. For all three of these, we use a common technology which is called DNA fingerprinting, right? That is what we learned under issues pertaining for biology, which means factors that help to contribute or help to study biology, right? Okay. Then when we went to the next topic, which was how organisms diverse, on what basis? Normally, organisms are classified or characterized or diverse with respect to four features. What are they? First, shape, size, form, and habitat. Size. Size example. Can you give me an example? Bacteria 0.25 micrometer to 2 micrometers. They are the smallest. Largest giant sequoia or giant redwood trees, right? They have a height of 100 meters. They are the largest. Second is shape. Cylindrical, example for shape. Cylindrical means earthworm, and streamline means fishes and birds. Okay, third one, form. There are two main forms. What are they? Unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular example, amoeba. Multicellular example, humans, plants, animals, everything. Okay. Then last one is habitat. Habitat, they gave four main habitats. What are they? Terrestrial. Terrestrial includes animals, rats, lions, tigers, everything. Second one, aquatic, fishes. Third one, arboreal. Example, lorries. Fourth one, aerial, birds. Right? Okay. Then we went to the next topic, which is characteristics of organisms. Right? First characteristic was order and organization. They said that organisms which are living, they have a precise order and organism, precise order and organization. Right? I gave a sequence, which is I gave a sequence. Can you remember? Uh, this was a sequence. So this is how it looks like. Molecule, then came organelle, then came cell, then came tissue, then came organ, then came uh, system, then came organism, then came population, then came the community, then came the ecosystem, then came biosphere. Right, right. Now we know from our knowledge of O levels and in A levels also they say that cell, a cell is the basic fundamental functional unit of life, which means it is the basic unit, which is the smallest unit of life. So I have a question for you. Right now, if this is the starting point of life, which means this is the starting point of living, right? Life. Are these two living or non-living? Can you have a guess? Are these living or non-living? Just guess. Are molecules and organelles living or non-living? What do you think? What do you think? Are they living? Just give a guess. What do you think? Hello, students. Are you paying attention? Right. Right. My question was, molecules and organelles, are they living or non-living? Just a guess. Living or non-living? Now, cell is the basic fundamental functionality of life, right? So from cell onwards, living living starts, right? All others come under living from cell. Tissue is living, organ is living, systems are living, right? My question is, are molecules and organelles living? Because they are before cells. Molecules and organelles are the ones that forms cells. Are they are living? The answer is no, they are not living. They are non-living. Because from this point onwards, all comes here also. It will be coming as living, right? Living. But here these two are non-living, right? That's it. Okay. That is the first characteristic feature, which is order and organization. Second was metabolism. Can you remember? Metabolism is the sum of all biochemical activities that take place in an organism. right? Metabolic activities or metabolic reactions have two types, which are catabolism and anabolism. Catabolism means breaking of complex molecules to simple molecules, right? Anabolism means making complex molecules using simple molecules, right? Catabolism means, again I repeat it, catabolism means breaking complex molecules to simple molecules, right? Anabolism means making complex molecule using simple molecules. Catabolism means, simply remember, uh, eating some foods. Now we take a complex food, right? It is been swallowed, we bite it, and it has been made into simple molecules, right? Now I'm not telling an example, that is not a catabolic reaction, I'm just telling it to think it mechanical, right? How it happens. Now, for anabolic reaction, think of something like building blocks. So small building blocks will be combined to form a complete structure. So that is some sort of anabolic reaction, right? Okay, then we go to the third characteristic, which is growth and development. Growth means irreversible increase in dry mass of an organism, right? Development means irreversible increase in the irreversible changes in the lifespan of an organism. So growth and development are consecutive, which means they are simultaneous or parallel, right? Then comes irritability and coordination. Irritability means ability to respond to the signals that arise from both internal and external environments. So irritability and coordination are the ones that helps in contribution of human body movement. And there are mainly four systems that contribute. Can you remember them? Nervous system, hormonal system, hormonal means endocrine system. Third one, skeletal system. Fourth one, muscular system. Right? These are the systems. And they came on to the next point, which is adaptation. Adaptation means the peculiarity or feature of structure, physiology, or behavior that promotes the likelihood of survival or reproduction of an organism. Simply, it is the change in an organism, structure wise, physiology wise, or the function wise, or behavior wise, that helps the organism for its survival or reproduction. Examples: sunken stomata. Second one, sunken stomata. Second one, xerophytes. Sunken stomata and xerophytes. Second one was viviparity in mangroves, and third one was splayed out foot in camels. Right? Okay. Then comes to reproduction. Reproduction means the continuous ability of producing continuous species, or ability of producing offsprings for the continuous continuation of the species. Right? And then came the other point, which was heredity and evolution. Right? Heredity means the ability to pass genes from generation to generation that control specific physiological, morphological, or behavioral characters. Right? Evolution means change in genetic composition of an organism over time. Right? And last came the hierarchical sequence. Hierarchical sequence, they have an order, which is the or this order, complete order they gave, and they said that it starts from molecular level and leads to biosphere level, right? And that's it. That's what we have under unit 1. Now I'll give, it's 4:40, right? Yeah. What we'll do is we'll do some questions, past paper questions, and then you will feel how the questions asked by examiners work. Right. Now here, see this. These are past paper questions which are asked by examiners. Now you all are well aware of these questions. Now just give a try for these questions. Spend few minutes and try this question, and let's discuss. Right now it's 4:42. Right, for all these questions I'll give you 8 minutes. Right, so let's start the discussion at 4:50. Okay, 4:50. I'll give you a few minutes, 8 minutes, to complete all the questions here. Only one page, right? Here, up to this part, right? Maximum try to write the answer in your memory, right? Which means without seeing through the resource book or the tute, just try to write by memory what you learned today, and recall it and try to write it. Even if it is wrong, no issue, right? start discussing. Right, I guess you might have given a try. Right. 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 This is a 2024 A level question, not a long year question, which means not that old. It wasn't asked before the new syllabus. It has been asked in 2024, which is recently, almost 2 years ago, right? So what they have asked, which of the following is considered as the basic functional unit of life? What is the answer? Students, what about your answer? Yes, cell. Very good, very good. Answer is cell, right? I gave a hierarchical sequence, which said molecules, then came organelles, then cell, tissues, organs, then came systems, organism, population, community, ecosystem, biosphere. Now, basic function unit of life starts from cell, right? Okay. Second one. This is some sort of tactical question. You should think carefully before answering. Two characteristics that can be seen only in living organisms, right? Right. Now let's mention what they have given in the resource book under characteristics of organism. I'll mention it here, right? First one they said order and organization, right? Second one they said metabolism, right? Third one they said growth and development, growth and development. Fourth one, fourth one irritability and coordination, right? Fifth one adaptation. Sixth one reproduction. Seventh one evolution and heredity, right? So these are the ones. Now let's go on to the answers. First one says adaptation and growth. Yeah, it has a chance, right? But as soon as you read the answers, don't go to mark the answers, right? You will be getting bullet sheets, right? So don't go directly to mark the answer. Just check all five answers and come to a final decision, right? Now this is pending. This has some sort of suspicion, right? Second one, movement and irritability. Movement and irritability. What about that? Do you find movement in these characteristic features? Do you find movement in these characteristics of living organism? Yes or no? Students? Now, these are the ones which have been I mentioned in the edge of the page. These are the ones coming under characteristics of organism, right? So, do they have movement here? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. Very good, very good. Yes. So, can we write this as an answer? No, because movement is not given in our syllabus as a characteristic feature. So, because of movement, we come to decision this is wrong, right? So, third one also same movement is present. So, regardless of the second one, we cancel off this. So, 2 and 3 are not the answers. 4. Metabolism and heredity. Metabolism is present. Okay. Heredity is present. Okay. So that is also suspicion. This is the reason why I said as soon as you read the first answer, do not go to finalize the answer. As soon as you read the answers, first read and finish all five answers and then come to a final conclusion. Now here, first one and fourth one are the suspicion. Fifth one, Synthesis and decomposition. These are completely different. They haven't given some sort of information about synthesis or decomposition. So this is wrong. So what are the answers? Possible answers 1 and 4. So here there's a tactical approach. Now, if you see metabolism, let's go to the definition, right? For metabolism, let's go to the definition. Where it is. Uh, wait. Right. Sum of all chemical organisms that takes place in organism, right? Takes place in a organism. Okay. Heredity. Heredity means transfer or passage of genes. So genes are present in living organism. Metabolism takes place in living organism. So this has a chance. This has a chance but not confirmed. Adaptation and growth. If you see adaptation and growth, the problem is adaptations are shown by all, even non-living components show adaptation. Now, if you see, have you seen mitochondria? Mitochondria gets a shape some sort of like this. You might have seen this in your O levels, right? Now, this shape, this curvy shape, it is some sort of adaptation which helps in cellular respiration, right? So, is uh, mitochondria living? Just because they have an adaptation, is mitochondria living or not? Yes or no? Are mitochondria living or non living? No. Very good, very good. Why? Because it is below cell, so it is not living. So can we choose this an answer? If you see generally this seems correct, but if we see in depth compared to fourth one, this is wrong. So here the answer is fourth one. Do you understand how we choose the answer? Right? Don't get panic or don't be in a hurry to find the answer. Do it in do it patiently and do it correctly. Right? Okay, let's go to the third question. The first organisms formed on Earth are considered to be, this is a direct question from your theory part. The first formed organism had three features. Can you remember? They were heterotrophic, they were prokaryotic, and they were anaerobic. So C, which is the answer? Heterotrophic, anaerobic, eukaryotic. So here eukaryotic is present. So we can choose this as an answer. Just because of this. Wait. Right. Just because of this is wrong. Heterotrophic, aerobic. Just because of aerobic, this is wrong. Autotrophic, wrong. Heterotrophic, anaerobic, prokaryotic. This is the answer. Autotrophic, no, not autotrophic. So here, what is the answer? Answer number 4. Right. Okay, then let's go to the structure essay part. About how many years ago did life on Earth originate? Can you remember? How many years ago? How many years ago? Friends? How many years ago? Just a guess. How many years ago? If you can't remember, just drop a message. Can't remember. I'll help you to remember that. Somewhat I need your interaction in the lesson. So please respond. Right? About how many years ago? Yes, exactly. 3.8 billion years ago. That's it. 3.8 billion years ago. So please respond. You all know the answers. 3.8 billion years ago. Billion years ago. Right. Now, if you see, this is a 2021 A level question, right? Not a provincial paper or FWC paper. This is a A level paper question. Now, if you see the second part, it is a question which is based on definition. Now, can you understand why I said to allocate a separate book for collecting the definitions? See, they have asked three definitions from a single lesson. So that much of importance is given for definitions. So metabolism. Metabolism means the sum of all biochemical. Now there is a confusion. Wait, I'll let you know what happens here is sum of all biochemical reaction that takes place in a living organism, that takes place in an in a living organism. Now you might feel, sir, you said the definition as the sum of all chemical, right? How does biochemical is present here? If you see the resource book, they have mentioned it as sum of all chemical. Now the problem is in unit 2 when you are coming across metabolism, in unit 2 also metabolism is present, but in detail, right? So there when you come across metabolism, they have mentioned it as sum of all biochemical, but generally scheme is also providing it as sum of all biochemical. So if you write it as biochemical, they can't cut marks, right? So better write it as biochemical. Biochemical means biological and chemical, right? Sum of all biochemical reactions. Sorry, reactions, right? Okay. Growth means irreversible increase in dry mass of an organism. Development means irreversible increase, sorry, irreversible, not increase, irreversible changes, ne? Irreversible changes in lifespan of an organism, right? Okay. State three main methods by which food production can be sustainable meat, right? Producing high yielding plant animal varieties. Second one, producing disease resist disease resistant plant and animal varieties. And last one, improving post harvest technology. Right? Is that clear? Clear, right? Directly from your resource book. No any alterations. Right? Yes, perfect. Last one, part B, which is